Welcome back to 505.
On the rise. And today we have local artist Jolynn Alarid. Welcome.
Thank you.
No
How's your
problem.
day been?
It's been good. It's been busy.
I'm-
It's been fun.
I'm glad to have you here, though.
I'm really
I'm
happy.
really excited to have you on the podcast. And we met recently at the open mic, and I saw you through Instagram and stuff. And now here you are. It's
Here
a
I
pleasure
am.
to have you. It's a pleasure to have you here. I'm so excited to have you here. Local musician. When did you get your start as a musician or artist?
So I've been a musician growing since I was, super young. My first performance was in front of family, at a family reunion when I was 3. And it was
Wow.
something inside me that I just knew. Sometimes I can be an indecisive person, but for something like that was just inside of me. I never had to
Second guess yourself.
guess it. Yeah. So I went to school for music at UNM, and then as far as my artist solo, original music,
Mm-hmm.
I really started it up again. I wrote a little when I was 12 years old when I was starting on instruments,
Yeah.
and then I jumped back into it now that we've been in. Well, I took a class in college and wanted to do more, just didn't know how to get out there.
Mm-hmm.
And now that we had this past year, things have been so different, I've been able to really focus on it.
That's
So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Was there anybody in your family that encouraged you?
Yeah, definitely. My whole family, actually.
Were they musicians and stuff as well?
No, not
That's
very.
what I meant.
Yeah.
You have any background of musicians?
No, not really.
Not really? Damn, that's
No.
cool. That's
Yeah.
cool. But were they very encouraging since you were little and then, I bet?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were really encouraging.
That's cool. And what music did your family listen to, or what were your inspirations since you were little, or what were you listening
Yeah.
to?
There were so many inspirations. It's hard to pinpoint a few, but my parents, they listened to more country
Mm-hmm.
at the time. We actually lived on a ranch,
Oh, that's sick.
past Moriarty. So it was very we're in what it was.
Yeah.
And then my grandparents, they'd listen to Spanish music, whatever
Mhm.
was on the radio. My aunt would listen to pop and her 90s
So
music.
everything.
Oh, yeah.
It's a mixture.
It was a lot. It was a lot of a mixture, and I was super into NSYNC and Britney Spears at the time.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, keep
This is good
listening.
music.
Keep listening to Selena, because she was a huge
Oh,
inspiration.
Oh, yeah.
She was kind of my grounding artist of oh yeah, she's has depth to her, and I really enjoyed listening to her and copying exactly what she'd do in
Mhm.
music.
Well, yeah, even her stage performance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Selena. Everybody has to love
Yeah.
Selena,
Yeah.
But yeah, her stage performance was sick. I think that's what made her so different, and she was also very grounded. I think.
Yeah.
As well, she was very humble. I don't know. I wasn't born by that time, but from the
Yeah.
stories, the moms,
You've seen the movies?
We've seen them. Yeah.
And the shows.
the new series now, but yeah, she was really good. She's a really good
Yeah.
artist to take motivation from. But what instruments did you start playing, or at first,
Yeah.
or how did you pick it up?
I got a little guitar when I was 12 and a little piano, and right away I knew, I was these are toys. I was just this doesn't sound like that one, or so. I guess I had a well-developed ear just from listening. So around 12 I got piano and a guitar,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it actually held me back, just I don't feel like I can do this. It didn't really feel quite approachable yet. So I focused on singing for a while, and then kind of picked it up back in high school and middle
Mhm.
school, and have been in and out of playing instruments, and then I went to music school, and I kind of had more of confidence in that, learning theory and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Okay, I can do this. But there was definitely a hesitation towards instruments.
I bet.
Yeah.
So
It's hard to get into.
when you went to music school, and you said you went to UNM, right?
Mhm.
So I'm always curious, what is music theory? What is that specific? I mean, I know you can't really go into depth, but can you give me a good
Yeah.
overall what is music
Yeah,
theory?
sure. So the key word, of course, is like theory. And
Mhm.
like, what's a theory? It's not proven. It's like, this is how it could work in certain cultures. And so it's kind of breaking it down and boiling it down to what could it be. And a lot of times it's like boiled down to a few different chords in a song. Like,
Okay.
I'm sure you've heard jokes about like country songs are like 2 or 4 chords.
One
like
of my friends sent me a meme. It's like, this is you, because it's like, I play a lot of songs that are easy. So it's like, you only know 4 chords. It's like, no, I don't. I know more chords.
I know
But
4
no,
chords.
you know what I mean? Like, I get
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
Yeah. So it's kind of that, and how it works and how it relates. But ultimately what I believe, like, and I think it's very relatable, and that's why we love music, is the feelings in it and what it communicates. So it's cool to know all like the functions of it and all the theory, but it's more important, I think, as an artist and as a singer or musician, to communicate that.
Yeah.
And like connect with the song,
Connect.
right? Or with it.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Or like, your goal is to also like write something that probably is going to connect with someone as well, right? Like,
Exactly.
for example, because like, this is a perfect time to bring up, because like, you just dropped your first single, right?
Yeah.
And I've been listening to it, and then I sent Eric, and so we've been listening to it. And how did that come about? Like, how do you get inspiration and stuff? Like I just want to go into depth into your song.
Yes.
Like
Thank
a
you.
lot, like just
Aw.
legit the whole thing. Like, I don't know how it started, the idea, and like the mix, everything. I
That's
don't know.
amazing. Thank you for asking that. I've had a lot of questions lately about it, which makes me really happy, because as an artist, it's not like I just want to like throw something out and make money
Yeah.
or something. Like, that's not why I do it, or why anybody does it. It's
Yeah,
because I want to
definitely.
communicate that. So I'll give you the whole story.
Yeah, I
and
want the whole story.
I'm
Go
so
ahead.
excited to share it. And a lot of these things are exclusive to 505 on the Rise. So
Let's
Ooh.
go.
yeah.
You heard it first here.
So the very first inkling of my single Rainy Season, I was driving in my car. I live in Moriarty. And so I was driving from Albuquerque to Moriarty. And that's usually when I get inspiration, driving, and when there's like rain or water of some sort. And so I'm driving, and I just take out my phone and kind of feel like when a inspiration hits, then I need to hit my record button on my memos. And so I'm driving, and I'm just singing. I still have that recording. It was in January 2020.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it was very raw. It kind of sounded like a Disney song. And I was like, I don't know if this can be used, but it's just like inspiration, and I had to get it out. And from there, I kind of left it. I didn't really work too much with it. And then, as we all know, there was some craziness happening after
Definitely.
after January 2020. And so come like March, end of March, I was like, okay, I'm going to get really organized with my original music, all these hundreds of voice memos. And I had some music friends that I knew could play the instruments that I was pretty hesitant towards, and see if I could make something. And Rainy Season just stayed in my voice memos for a while. And then once I met up with them in around October, there's a good friend of mine, Donovan Perea. He plays guitar, and we met at UNM. And we were just jamming in a practice room downtown, and we were trying to get some stuff together for this October gig at Red Gorilla Studios. And he put a beat to it. He put a beat to this little Disney, little, what is it called in rap when you have just like a little...
Like a bar?
No.
A
It's
bar.
called like a sample, right? It's
or
sample?
like a hook.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a hook or sample.
Just like a small thing. It was, good old rainy season, won't you start believing? Dance in the rain while you can. And then I was like, that's pretty, right? And he's like, yeah. And then he just started drumming.
Okay.
And it changed like the melody, because then the melody was like, dance in the rain, dance in the rain. So it had variations.
Okay, yeah.
He helped me like kind of, okay, let's focus this, and we'll take this back to the band on Monday or whatever day we were rehearsing. And then we So the melody came first, the drum beat came second,
Mm-hmm.
and then we took it to my friend Carlos Fryer, who's a pianist.
Okay, I know
So-
a Fryer. Like, his name is David Fryer. He's a producer as well. And then Oscar Fryer, he was a barber. So like,
Oh,
damn, I know
cool.
Fryer. So it's cool.
In Albuquerque.
Yeah,
Sweet.
Are they related?
that's what
No,
I was.
I'm
I was just like, what are their cousins? What are their cousins?
They could be. They could be.
Yeah, and then from there,
From there, we harmonized it together.
okay.
He's a really awesome jazz pianist and has like this awesome brain for music theory. And I'm just like a yes, no, that sounds good. That's what I want. Because it can go so many ways at that point. And so together we decided on what the chordal harmonies would be. And then from there, we took it to my friends Jesse Culberson and Matthew. Why is it leaving me? Matthew Yeager. And from there, we all came together as a band and prepared it for performance.
Mm-hmm.
And they're amazing musicians. They it almost feels sometimes they read my mind of what I wanted from the instruments. And then from there, I met online with Instagram. I met Armando Orona, and he works with Scorpio Season. Do you
I don't know. I don't think so. I'm not like I
Yeah.
know a lot of people, but I think I by their pictures right
Yeah.
now because I haven't really talked to him. Like the first time I met like Edgar was
Yeah.
also when I met you and like all of them. So I knew him like through pictures and Instagram, but I
We're
don't.
gonna bring you in the family.
Alright, for sure. But yeah.
Yeah. And so he was in Florida,
Mm-hmm.
and we came up with a deal, and he started working on the production of it, and I sent over the stems. We recorded remotely, all of us, and then he came back into town that following January or December of 2020, and we got the drums, which was, an important part of the song.
Definitely.
And from there, it was ready to be mixed and mastered. My friend Juan, he's in Guatemala.
Okay.
He mixed and mastered it. Did an
Wow.
awesome job, and he's an amazing. There was like a trust, because sometimes working with people you haven't
Yeah.
met,
Yeah.
you're like, ah.
You're like,
And
I'm
then
sending you
also-
my song. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
what's
Yeah,
going
and then also like taking your idea and then what if they do something you don't want? You're like,
Right.
damn, like that's not what I have in mind.
Yeah, but Armando had worked with him before on some of Scorpio Season stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a good friend of his, and I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And he was super nice and helpful, and I learned so much from that whole experience, and I'm ready to work up some other stuff. I've got
That's awesome.
about 75 songs unreleased.
Wow.
Sick.
Yeah.
And it's kind of just that production part, so I'm working myself on just being able to do that and get past whatever like mind barriers are there or
Mhm.
time barriers often.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited for more.
For more for
Yeah.
the future.
I've been
Should,
asked
should we
about
be expecting an album soon?
Absolutely,
Or
it's in
no?
the works.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But like into the lyrics and stuff, like
Yeah.
when you were driving, like how did they just come about? Like like you were just like what I do is I start mumbling,
Mhm.
and I'm like let's see what words go with my mumbling. But like how did yours lyric come about like with that song?
Thank you for asking that one. I had forgot about one of the most important parts
No,
of
it's
the
'cause,
song.
I'm also like trying to write songs, so it's like
Yeah.
I have to ask because I need to get ideas as well, you know. So yeah,
Every song's different and it comes differently.
yeah.
And so this one, like I said, it had that's the whole story behind it, except I left out one part, which is the words. I was actually running late to a rehearsal with them, and I had told them the rehearsal before. I'm like, I'll write the verses, don't worry. And they don't worry. They're like, we've got our part. You got to do your lyrics.
part.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, okay, cool. Because it was more like a melody.
Okay.
And so I'm in my car again. It's not raining this time. And the lyrics just kind of poured out. And they didn't change at all. I remember like so vividly. But it was probably 5 minutes of just writing those lyrics out. And the story behind those, like, because I don't think I'm not smart enough to craft lyrics that would mean that much.
I totally understand what you mean.
Like, it just kind of came out. Some people believe inspiration comes from different places, and I do too. I think it comes from like a very like divine place. If you're open to it, which can be hard to write with other people, which I'm learning to do that too. But rain is falling, children cry, and stay inside and let it wear off is all kind of like reflective of the year of like, I'm also a teacher. I teach music.
Really?
Yeah.
Where do you teach?
I teach in Rio Rancho.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's sick.
I teach choir and drama.
Wow, that's a long drive too. Moriarty to Rio Rancho.
I'm a driver.
Damn, that's a lot of gas.
I'm moving. Tell me if you know a place, guys.
For sure.
So I was thinking about my students, just like they're inside. They're not coming to school, and they're waiting for the storm to wear off, which ultimately was COVID.
Yeah.
And thank goodness we're seeing that now. But it was really like it's a melancholy thought of like they're home safe. I kept reminding them like, you're home safe, right? Like that's one positive thing. And then the next part of it, so season screaming, earth is wheezing. Season screaming, earth is wheezing still. Is kind of just talking about just the political climate or just whatever climate's around us all the time. It's always changing. And I'm a big fan of seasons and rain and just observing. Like, I'm kind of more of an introverted person.
I love that, especially just because like the young people, well, nobody was ready for this actually, but like for example, like I know that all the high schoolers, they went through like, oh, no prom, no none of this, you know. So it's like, I think that's perfect. Like your song is like perfect for like what you're doing. Like you're a teacher, so it's like very inspiring. It's kind of, I feel like it's kind of dedicated to him, like not you know, but like that's how I see it. Like it's like a dedication to your students and like how you think they felt. Because like sometimes when I try to write, I try to write how like other people feel as well,
right?
Or not like just my perspective and stuff. So yeah, that's really interesting.
Yeah,
I like
you're
that
spot
a lot.
on with that. Like, it was, I think part of why I wanted to release this song and not so many others is it didn't feel like a selfish song. It felt like a collaboration, and it felt like a dedication, because my friends helped write the music, my students helped inspire me, and it felt like something I wanted to share. And hopefully, you know, the chorus hits like and wraps it into like, we have to dance, we have to enjoy this life we're living, because we don't know what is going to be around the corner, and we know that. I think we all know that now. Just after
definitely
the craziest year. And I'm enjoying it this summer, like with music, all that is going on, and meeting people like you guys and seeing like you've been working hard and pushing through these crazy seasons too. So I'm just really excited to be in the moment.
Yeah, definitely live in the moment, because you don't know what's gonna happen. Like, just the COVID again. We didn't know. Nobody knew what was gonna happen. And at first, I remember when the first cases were appearing, and I was actually in Trinidad, Colorado, playing soccer, and we were making jokes about it. And like later, I come back, and then it was here, and then it was like the craziest thing ever. So
when people were fighting over toilet paper,
it's
and it was
just like,
jeez,
you never know what's gonna happen. And COVID would just like slap us in the face, like a reality check. It was like, all right, like you guys need to,
take it serious.
Take care of, like, first of all, like the moment, and like cherish it, because you never know. Because a lot of people also like sadly passed away through all that stuff, and like it was just a crazy moment, you know. I don't know. COVID wasn't the best, but I'm glad that restrictions are like now, like everything's opening back again. And like you said, open mics and stuff. That first of all, I didn't even know there was open mics here and stuff like that. Like prior to COVID, either way. And that's awesome. Like it's just cool. And then meeting new people and then working with other people, it's just been great. Since like this whole year has been really good actually. So
it was pretty cool too, because like it was like our first mic night. You know, like, especially like if you don't have anything to do on a Friday night or something, like it's such a cool like vibe. Just hang out with friends, eat, listen to music. Like I really enjoyed myself last time when we went.
Like the people that went with me was my girlfriend, and then Valerie, a good friend of ours as well, from the pod, and my friend Lily as well. They've been in the pod. Like we did like a mystery case of the Menendez, and they went. So like, the funny thing about me going to this open mic is like I pulled up and I didn't even say a word. Like it's just so funny to me now that I think about it, because I just got up there and didn't say anything. Just started playing because the homie's like, "All right, I already introduced you," and I was like, "All right, so what do I say?" He's like, "I don't know, play." And then I was like, I guess. So it was our first mic, but then that's where I met you, and I met all the other artists that like we want to have on. So it's like, it's just crazy how everything just opens. And like, and it's time. Like, I believe in God, so it's like times. It's God's time. So like we're not pressuring anything, and it just falling into place with all these cool people that we're meeting. So it's cool. Yeah.
I'm right there with you. There's something that happens when you just like are open to possibilities and grateful for what you have and trusting in that. So
Yeah,
I believe in that too.
Yeah, and then I also want to shout out Vaughn, Eric's friend. That he also went to that, and like he just like, it's like, hey, I'm gonna go, and I'm like, all right, bet, because he wanted to support. So I was like, that's cool. So even though like I'm barely starting that, it was just like a cool experience being there, and like we're trying to like that's something because we didn't know about like these open mics, and like that was one of our goals to have like legit open mics and like poetry slams and stuff like that, but. Like that's really cool that there's those things already that we didn't know about. So
and more than that, like we want to. So, for those of you who don't know what open mic we're talking about, it was with Monsoon Music House, and so one of our goals, because we're like in our mid to later 20s, we're wanting to help everybody who's curious about how to get these things going. Like we could do a collab night, and so. We're just hungry to work with anybody who's curious and likes what we're doing, and we want to help you in however we can.
No, yeah.
That's perfect that you brought that up, because I know one of our goals at the beginning of the year was to host an event.
Nice.
Like 505 on the Rise, we would like to host an event, bring artists in, or even like local vendors that sell food, like just everything, something like that they had at the ABQ Collective, but we just don't know like what steps to take.
Right.
So I wanted to ask you, where should we start, or like how would we go upon like planning an event like that? So there's a few different ways. One of the ways is definitely get plugged in with us, and I think the best way, as a teacher who learned how to teach through other teachers, it was like you just jump in and you see where you can help, and then I'm an observer, and I think that's the best way you can learn is either jump in or observe, and both of those things are possible. So we are wanting to make it so that people can get involved. It's not like you're signing a contract or anything, but you can see how we run it, ask questions. A big part of it though is having a network of people who want to work together. It seems like you guys have that going on, which is really exciting. And then reaching out to people who want to support you, like local businesses. Yeah. And just keep growing. It takes a little time.
It just takes work and stuff, of course, But I was actually wanted to talk about how did the collective start with all your friends like Edgar and all them? Because how did that start? Like how did you guys get along, or like how did you guys even meet? Like I want to know how that happened. Like how did you start meeting?
People have been wondering that. That was one of the questions too.
That was in the question.
It was a private one.
Oh,
but yeah, you're going off of it. So we all met through Instagram.
That's how we're meeting everybody.
Yeah. Like through the year, through the COVID crazy year, I definitely met Edgar through there. And it's like I had a mutual friend, Emily Anslover. She plays violin, and we met at UNM. And then I think she would post his stuff. And so it was just like friends posting friends stuff. And then there was like an ABQ, or there still is an ABQ music hashtag. Okay. And so a few of us found each other through there, but I met Edgar through Instagram. I met Abel through Instagram. Dan I met kind of through Instagram, but the year before COVID, we had done some music together. Okay. And then the other two through Instagram.
That's just Micah, crazy, huh?
Like Micah, and then the other through Edgar.
Yeah. And then how do you guys get together to? Hey, let's do a collective or.
Yeah, so we'd been out and about in small groups for a while, just like doing like private house shows and stuff like that since maybe March of this year, and just like trying to get some more music going. And I think it was April, we just had a meeting. We had the intention of like, let's all get together, let's make something happen. Because I had been on Clubhouse, an app for like networking.
Yeah.
And I'd been saying like, this is so awesome, I got so many connections, but I want something real to happen, like in real life, whenever we're able to open up for the summer. And so I had that hope, Edgar had that hope, Abel had wanted to do a house party or a house show. And we were gonna do a house show, like that was it.
That was the idea.
We had met at Ancora too, another local music venue type place, and we were like, these people are awesome, like how are we gonna make something bigger and invite more people and make music like something that we can continue, like, which of course we have to make money off of it if we want to make it a bigger part of our lives. And so we just had a meeting. We said, how are we going to do this? We came up with a name. Let me tell you though, the like process was like crazy. We're a bunch of creatives trying to get organized. That was our main goal, which was kind of mine in 2020 too. And we got there. We're getting there. Like the process is very loop-de-loop.
I totally just like, I have this idea, and like everybody's all, you know.
But we really are coming into a flow now. So April, we got the name, and then things just went really fast. I think when you set like your intentions and you have a vision and you're gonna do whatever you can to go for it, it just will happen quickly. So right now we're like, this weekend we have 2 shows that we're running. And it's like, we won't do that again because it is a lot.
Oh yeah, and then I was gonna even ask you like art walk as well. So I was like, how it's like open mic and art walk, and then like how is that gonna work?
So we have one event at the Collective still, because that's every Friday, and then we have this pop-up event which is with our friends with Producers Pit. Okay. And Producers Pit is a local show.
Yeah, we've seen them. Yeah. We're in talks with them.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
And so all those artists are going to play, but we have
awesome.
double equipment for everything. We have double manpower. But I think I forgot your question.
Well, we were saying how
like how you guys met or got
No, how
was it?
Like I think it was, what was the question? I thought it was legit about
the art walk.
The art walk, yeah.
So art walk will be going on, and I think a few of us will just be like down on Central because it's a couple streets away from it. And we're just gonna be like, come on, see the show. But we also do a lot of sharing through Instagram. Obviously it worked to connect us, and it can attract other creatives and people like yourselves, like trying to do the same thing. Yeah. So a lot of that, and just word of mouth, like telling our friends and our friends of friends, come out to this. Yeah. Yeah.
But aren't you gonna perform this?
Yes.
At the art walk this week?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Sick.
I'm really excited.
With a lot of actually really talented people that I was checking out. Like, it's a lot of people. And are you excited for that?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I have a full band together.
I was actually going to talk about your band too, but go ahead. Talk about that.
So it's called Jolynn and the Illusions. And really we had a few performances like for my release show and October, whenever we did a live stream. Yeah. But this is really a bigger performance because it's on Art Walk. It feels like we got a little practice after last weekend at High and Dry. And I've got a saxophone, I've got a backup vocalist, which I'm excited. And they're all like amazing friends that I've met through this past year. So
that's awesome.
That's sick.
Super excited.
And then, because I saw that you guys just made on Instagram, I think, right?
Yeah. I made it last night.
Right away, I started following it. So I was like, let's go.
Yes.
You posted a first video, and I think it was just you a cappella, right? Yeah. And I was like, that's sick. And like, the reason I was like, that's sick is because like Edgar has his own band too. Like you have your own band. I'm like, yeah, these bands are sick. They're popping. Like that. It's like I want to make a band too. But you know, it's like so cool. Like seeing you guys work together, and like you guys are just inspirations. Like literally to me now. Like since I met you guys, I'm like, damn, I want to be like you guys. Like,
Aw.
like I just want to play, and then, yeah, it's just so cool. And then especially talking to you guys, like I was so excited to meet you, and then Edgar and like all the rest of them. I was like, this is really nice. I was,
Aw.
you know, you guys are cool.
So
You guys are.
the group that you were talking about. You came up with the name in April, or is it called April? Or no, is it the monsoon?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I know how that
I
could
was
be
like,
confusing. April showers
Yeah.
and whatever that saying is.
Yeah, or brings May flowers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a rain theme, as you can tell.
Yeah, because I was gonna ask you that too. I was like, was there like any influence from your previous recording voice memo toward the?
Oh, some people have given me a hard time. I'm the only girl in the group,
Oh.
so I get what I want. No.
You have to. No.
I think it just happened. Like, we wanted something New Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
and we all love the rain. Like, this past week, I mean, people have been so happy.
Yes.
It's raining, and people just don't care if you cut them off in traffic. They're like, that's fine.
Yeah. It's still raining. Yeah.
So we wanted it to be something of growth, something New Mexican, something that hopefully rolls off the tongue,
Mm-hmm.
and
Monsoon.
Yeah.
and it was also kind of random.
Okay.
No,
It wasn't
it's pretty intentional.
meaningful and
yeah.
stuff. Yeah. And then something I want to get into is the questions, because like you use
Yeah.
your Instagram followers.
Yes.
And we're gonna get into questions. Do you want to read some, Eric, and then we'll go back and forth?
Yeah.
All right, for sure.
Well, I kind of had a question too,
Alright,
because
go ahead,
like
go
a
ahead.
monsoon is like a rainstorm, right? Basically, or something like that. Because like, and then you were saying that the whole process or like getting ideas was like all over the place, kind of like stormy.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Yeah.
dang, I was like, that's pretty cool that
Yeah.
it came up with monsoon and like before that.
That is cool.
Yeah, the themes kind of just happen.
Like
Yeah.
just flows. So I was like, that's
Yeah.
pretty neat. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
awesome.
I can't take all the credit from it. Like, it just kind of happens when I think you're creative and open to whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
That's
when you're
awesome.
doing music and stuff, you have to be really open-minded,
Yeah.
because, like, well, yeah, of course, like there's people that know more than you, or
Oh,
just
yeah.
it's like this would sound a little bit better, and you can't just be like stubborn, you know. So it's
Mhm.
like that. You have to be open-minded when
yeah.
it comes to
Mhm.
making music and,
And I
stuff
was
like that.
telling you guys, I met like the guitarist for Prince. Like, there's amazing people in Albuquerque. Like,
He literally just lives here now.
he was coming just to record, but
Oh,
he
wow.
came through. Like,
He pulled up.
Yeah.
yeah.
Albuquerque. Like,
in Albuquerque, and like, there's so many other people that you just never know who's gonna be smarter, more experienced in the room. Like, that's something I've learned, like, through meeting so many amazing musicians. It's like, you don't know, and I don't, not even an amazing musician, like any person, like each person in this room, like, has a different strength than me. Like, so, but beyond openness, it's also like respect for whatever
Mhm.
each
Yeah,
person
definitely.
carries. So.
And I feel the way you're also very open-minded, because you're a teacher. Like
Mhm.
you see that in students, and
Yes.
like you can see like probably the guy that's the quietest in your classroom is probably the most talented one, and like that's so cool to me too. Like just being
Yeah.
a teacher, that's so inspiring as well. Like
Thank
like,
you.
that's so cool.
Thank you.
I just love teachers. Like legit, I would always like. I would always have good communication with my teachers and like friends and stuff, because like when I graduated from high school, they all, like the ones I was closest to, added me
Mhm.
on Instagram and stuff, and like I just have an appreciation for teachers, because they're the ones that build the future, you know. So yeah, that's really cool too.
Thank you.
I'm gonna get into the questions now though,
All
because
right.
I'm really excited for these. Okay, how did you define good musicship?
How do I find?
How do you define?
How do I define?
Yeah.
Okay.
Meaningful,
Okay.
exciting,
Yeah. Eric?
something you can jam to.
Definitely something you can vibe.
Yeah, something you can vibe to.
Those are good. Those are
Yeah.
good.
What do you guys?
I like sad music, so like if it's sad, I'm gonna listen to it. So like definitely something I can like connect to, but at the same time, like for me, when it, like one of my favorite rappers, and like I listen to everything, but like I like to point out X every time, because like X was just like going through things, and then I would love listening to his lyrics, because I could kind of like understand what he was going through. So I really love that aspect of just music, when you can just listen to a lyric and just be like, all right, like this person's going through something,
Mhm.
and like even if you're not going through the same thing, you're like, damn, like, oh, it just makes you
You
sad.
have
and
like
just,
some sympathy.
you have
like,
sympathy because they're also like, even when you're famous, they're humans, you know, they have feelings and stuff. So I
Yeah.
think to me, it has to be lyrics for sure, and then something that I can connect to,
Yeah.
but as well like different kind of music, like something I jam to and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you?
Me, I don't know. Me, I'm more about like the energy. Like I like feeling. Well, lately I've just been like feeling like hype kind of
Yeah.
energy. Like I just want to go out there and like
Run.
party and run and like just like high intense energy. But I don't know. I just feel like lyrics do play a major role too, because like there could be like a happy beat to a song, but like the lyrics are super deep. But I mean, I don't know. I'm more of the beat type of energy feeling from the song. Like what I receive from the song, I'm just like, okay, I can feel what he was trying to get at.
Right. Cool.
But the next question is, when are you releasing your next song?
So it's in the works. I have like 3 demos in the works,
Okay.
and they'll be ready very soon. It is a longer process than I've realized. So actually doing it is a longer process, but you should hear something by the end of the year.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Another question is, how did you come up with the chords for Rainy Season?
Yeah, so we talked a little bit about that. My friends helped me out with a harmonization. Melody came first, and then the chords kind of framed whatever that melody was.
Yeah.
Shout out to jazz pianists who pay a lot of attention to the melody. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something that I still don't know how to do yet, because like I'm really starting. So like when you're trying to write a song, I'm like, what chord would fit with this? And then I'm just like messing around. So that's cool that you had people to help you. You know, that's really awesome.
Yeah, I put like basic chords, and then I was like, well, I need something more.
No, definitely. That's how I be writing my like literally 4 chords. Like I've been writing songs like that, and I'm like, eventually I hope I can like make it better and then add a little bit more and stuff, or like little adornos. I don't know if you know what adornos are.
What are they?
Adornos are, I don't know how to, like little decoration in the song,
yeah.
like, you know, just something different. But
Yeah.
And then the next question is, next album, question mark, exclamation mark.
Coming soon. I would say look out for 2022 for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we already went over that. What was the story behind Rainy Season? But this person said they can't stop listening to it. So shout out to them.
Shout out to them. Thank
yeah,
you.
so we already talked about all these like mostly, but I just want to say that your song is amazing. I really like it.
Thank you.
And like, I don't know, it was just like so scary to put something out there for me. Like like, you know, like I don't know how you feel about that, but like, how did you feel about when you released a song? Like,
Oh yeah, I had friends who'd been doing it for years, and I hadn't. I'd been releasing like music videos on YouTube for the past year, like one a week, or now it's kind of one a month. But that first one was really scary. Like I was like, ugh. But the more I've done it, the less scarier it is. But the first release of a song that was like a lot of time into it, and I was nervous. I'm like, is anyone gonna like it? Is anyone gonna listen to it? And and there's something that a little different, like it just feels a little different than I would have thought it would, because it is a different like creative process. And then once it's out there and people are listening, it feels really good. So
and getting good feedback, it just makes you feel good.
I really liked it too, because it's just so soothing. Like I don't know, when I listened to it the first time, I was like, I could like just picture myself just like on the porch or something, and it's just like raining, like just
Yes. That's awesome. Thank you.
There was a word you said when I was like, did you listen to it? And he's like, yeah, it's very like mellow, and like I love that too, you know, because like I listen to a lot of folk, and like I like slow beats and like slow, so I was like, I like that it was a slow song, you know. I really like that, like slow songs, and then that's something that I'm like scared about dropping, because I was like, what, like a lot of people right now want like fast beats, like fast beats, so I'm like, there's people that are gonna listen to it then, because like, you know, your song is slow and I really like this, so I'm like, there's people out there that it's gonna eventually like, oh, I like this, you know. There's people that fit into every music. They're like,
Totally.
so I'm excited because I want to drop something too.
Yes.
But like not soon. I've been working on it, but it's just like hard. But yeah, that's cool, and it's very encouraging for like hearing it from you. The fact that you like it is scary, but like you have to jump. You know, you have to take that leap and like actually do it. So that's really awesome.
Leap of faith.
Yeah, and there's, like you said, there's an audience for you that's waiting for whatever you're going to release. And I remind myself that too, because, you just, you don't know. There's an element of, like, self-doubt in being artistic. And the big thing is to just go for it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's worth it.
And then is there something you have, like, a goal before the end of the year?
There is. I want to... And I'm not sure I'm going to make it. I do have, like, steps. I'm, like, a planner in that way. But I want to have an EP released at the end of the year. And so I was, like, mapping that out. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, I can do one song in this long. But if I do 3 simultaneously, I can still do it. I could still meet my goal. And it's going to be hard. But
you're excited.
I set that goal. And the songs are written. It's just a matter of recording, mixing, mastering, all that stuff. So.
And how's your writing process? Because like, do you like legit write or just do memos and?
Both.
Okay, both. But how's your writing process? Like, how do you get?
It's very chaotic.
Chaotic.
It's like capturing just words on a page.
Okay.
Kind of like, I like to think of it as different paint colors. So, for rainy season, it was like, I need some blue. I need all these things. Like, my brain kind of just goes, blah. Like, what do you want to say? What do you want to say? And then what words are gonna work? Okay. That could be one way, but a lot of times, like I said, it could just come out of your brain, and you're like, oh, there's the song. So I really like when I have to sit down and write about it, and like really get to the core. Like this, there's a song I wrote a couple of weeks ago, with Low Mellow, aka April John. Okay. And it was a sit down process. It's about time, and I just had to like write out like, what do I feel about time? And it's kind of it's a soothing process as well. It's very cathartic just to get it out.
I feel like it's very therapeutic. I said it right, because I was like I was thinking about it in Spanish, so it like it helps you like let everything out, or like what you're feeling at that moment. So that's really cool. Yeah.
What's yours like?
Legit, the times I've like written, I just like I'm just chilling in my room, and then I'm just strumming, and like I'm just like mumbling and stuff, and then I just try to write words that I go with what I'm mumbling, and then see how it goes from there. And then I do a lot of like I record it. Sometimes I'm just like, I'm not gonna record as our own writing or whatever, so I would just record on my voice memo, and then just go from there. But yeah, I'm not that good at it yet, but I really started, so I'm still like, okay, I'm still trying, so it's cool. That's why I wanted to get your input on how you write, because like it's good for me, and then also people that are probably gonna listen, they're gonna be like, oh, okay, well, that's actually really good.
I have better feedback. That's been my past writing process, but I tried something new, because it's always good to change up. My friend Abby, she's also in the band Low Mellow. She showed me that she's just recording her songs straight into her DAW in her laptop, and then you already have that in your session, like the vocals, even if it's just that, and then a beat. So I'm pushing myself to do that a little bit more, because I've had like a hesitancy towards technology. Just like, oh, that's there, my music's here, but I'm trying to make that a little bit cleaner, like straight into my computer, and that way it's ready for whatever else I need to add to it.
That's something my friend told me as well. Like, he's like, okay, if you're gonna start recording, just go on GarageBand and put like a little slow beat of a drum, and then work from there. And then so that's kind of the same thing. And I haven't done it. He told me to do it. I haven't done it.
Like, I did the same thing with her. I was like,
it's just because like I'm like you. I'm just like, nah. Like, this is a little bit easier. So I'm like,
it's like more of an organic process.
Yeah, but at the same time, I understand that that's really cool as well, and because you already kind of have like a beat and have an idea. So
and then if you want to pitch it to somebody, like a friend who's a producer or somebody who's really good with working in GarageBand or whatever software, then they're like, oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Like that song I wrote, my friends were able to like play it really quickly because each stem, like I did voice recordings of each thing though. There's a running joke because I was like, bum, 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 with a bass, and they're just like, oh, Jolynn, the bassist, coming on it.
The beatboxer.
And so it was just clear whenever it's like all right there in front of them. And people need different things, different musicians. If you're wanting a band, different musicians take in information differently. And I think they take it in way better if it's like a clean MP3.
Yeah, MP3 for sure.
Yeah.
But you have any more questions, Eric?
I do not, but just want to thank you for coming onto the podcast and sharing your experiences, your inspirations, and
absolutely.
And then put your plugins and keep talking about, like, you guys need to listen to your song. Like, definitely check it out. It's on all platforms, right? It's on all platforms. And then you said you do as well YouTube, like you do YouTube videos and stuff. And then you're all over town, like playing, and you have your band now. So and then Art Walk. So this won't be posted till later, but you know, people will definitely will tag you in everywhere. So
awesome.
So yeah, thank you for being here. And if there's anything you want to say, because to conclude.
For sure. Yeah, follow me, talk to me. You know, if you want to get involved with Monsoon Music House, either as a musician, somebody working the shows, somebody curious on how we put them on, reach out to us because we're really excited to work with everybody. If we could work with every musician in Albuquerque, depending on what you'd like to do with Monsoon, that would be amazing. Also follow me on Instagram as Jolynn Alarid, or anywhere else, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. And then the band page is Jolynn and the Illusions. And we'd love to play at like some private events. If anybody wants to book us for those, let me know. And follow Monsoon Music House.
Definitely. And remember, guys,
keep rising.